thank you to all of you for making the time today to join us for this session. Just as an introduction, my name's Jonathan. I'm head of distribution at Icon. And one of the things that we speak a lot about at Icon is helping secure clients' income. And most of the time when we talk about it, it's in the event of death or disability. But one of our partners, Just Retirement, actually focus on securing clients' income in retirement. And I think we can all agree that most South Africans do not have enough to retire on. They reach the age of 65, they either need to continue working or they do retire and run out of money or have to significantly reduce their lifestyles, you know, to sustainably live off the small amount of retirement savings that they've got. So Just is a post-retirement specialist, and all Just do all day, every day, is find optimal ways for clients to secure their income in retirement. And I think most importantly, actually live off a more sustainable, higher income through the use of life annuities. And our guest speaker today is Jaco. So thank you, Jaco, for joining us. Jaco Pienaar is one of the distribution specialists or business developers for Just here in the Cape. And he'll be taking you through a bit of a workshop on the retirement income landscape in South Africa, highlighting some of the problems, providing you guys with some really smart, clever solutions that Just can provide. And hopefully if we can utilize these and implement them as part of our retirement planning, we can help secure clients a higher sustainable income for life in retirement, giving them peace of mind, improving their quality of life, and making sure that they don't run into this problem that so many people do, which is running out of money in retirement and actually becoming a burden on their family and loved ones. So Jaco, I'm going to hand over to you and let you take it away. I think, as always, we welcome engagement and questions. So Jaco, you must just tell us how you want to handle the questions, if you'd like to save them to the end, if you'd like people to put their hands up and kind of interact throughout your presentation. But yeah, I'll let you take it away.
John, I'm happy for people to put up their hands and ask questions. I always think that works better.
Cool.
If you can just keep an eye on it for me, where I've set up the presentation, it doesn't show the hands necessarily. But
I'll keep an eye on any questions. I think you must just swap your displays because we can see the presenter display.
You can see the one. Sorry. Sorry. There we go.
There we go. All right. Thanks, Jaco.
Right. Thanks. And good morning to everybody. So I'll just start quickly with so the aim of the presentation is to provide you with some solutions and some thinking and some research what's been happening in the post-retirement income market, not only locally but also overseas. And we've seen a lot of spillover from the overseas market also starting to happen in the South African market. So just for those of you that aren't aware of who we are as Just South Africa, Just South Africa actually forms part of the Just Group, which is a publicly listed company on the London Stock Exchange, where they specialize specifically in retirement income solutions. Today, they are the largest writer of guaranteed annuities in the United Kingdom, and they sit with around 650,000 policyholders. Now, always one of the more important solutions that I look at, or one of the more important components that I look at, is the type of assets that these companies got under management. So they've currently got around 585 billion. And they write around 100 billion rands of new retirement income premiums or retirement income solutions in the UK market. Now, just to give you an idea, the total South African market currently sits around 70 billion rand to 75 billion rand per year. So it's quite a large company. And they do provide us as the South African arm with the capital and the capital backing. Now, We started this business around 10 years ago. Well, we actually started it 10 years ago. Today, we sit with around 8,000 policyholders in the South African market, with around 11 billion rands of annuities under management. I think the important component to remember from this perspective is that the company, the United Kingdom company, carries an international credit rating of A. So the backing that we do have is a couple of notches above some of the financial institutions and the government. Now, importantly, what I specifically want to highlight is that in the South African market a couple of years ago, there was a requirement set up by the FSCA that all the pension funds and umbrella funds should provide an option of a living annuity and a guaranteed annuity to their employees. So we've been appointed at over 100 funds as the preferred guaranteed annuity provider for these preferred guaranteed annuity for a specific range of funds. It includes all of Allan Gray retirement, all of Allan Gray's retirement, preservation, umbrella funds. It also includes Signia's post-retirement or preservation and pension funds. It includes Stellenbosch University, it includes Media 24, BMW South Africa, Max Steel, the Mine Workers Provident Fund, is a fund where we've been appointed as the. So it makes us, I want to say, kind of big player in the post-retirement market in the South African sphere. Locally, we are led by Pierre du Plessis as the chairman of the board. For those of you that do know, he's a trustee at the PPS, on the PPS company, and he also is quite a big. He started an investment business a couple of years ago. We most of the older personnel in the market would be aware of. So, some of the common client concerns that we get and that we've been researching since we started this business in 2015 is we've been doing a longitudinal study with a range of clients since 2015 where we asked them certain questions. This year we'll be doing it again. But most of the type of questions that we do and I have received over the last couple of years from clients is, will my money last? How competitive will my buying power be? And then I can see that question. And what type of options do I have to protect some sort of income component? Now, and this ultimately comes down to how can we ensure that we create some sort of solution and post-retirement income solutions in the South African market that creates a viable and a sustainable perspective for clients. Now, one of the bigger issues that we're sitting, or one of the questions we did get that came out from this component was about 3 in 5 people fear running out of money more than they. This was backed up by a study that Alliance did in 2016, which is an overseas United States company. But it all comes down to the following, so retirees don't want to become a burden for their children. A failure in not managing their money well is seen as a loss of dignity, and it creates a lot of emotions for these clients in retirement. And if you start looking at what's happening in the market, we're starting to see a lot of the sandwich generation coming to the fore, where a lot of the older children now have to contribute financially to their father and mother's retirement to make sure that there's some sort of income. A lot of them move in with them because there isn't enough money available to have a sustainable income. And it creates all sorts of financial planning, let's call it crises that you have as a financial planner have to look out for and to cover. Now, recently there's been a paper that's been brought out locally in the South African market. And so the question that this specific researcher asked is, when are people supposed to be retired? So we put dates to this. And the question that he asked, or the statement that he actually said, is the question isn't at what age, it is actually at what income that you want to retire. Now, we've seen a lot of research coming up in this market. For those of you that do have to keep an eye on some of the newsletters, Sanlam recently brought out some research where they actually said we need to start rethinking the 6% of people can retire in the South African market and actually think, when can people retire? The research that they brought out is that the majority of people in South African market should only retire at the age of 80. Although most of our retirement plans have actually for 60 or 65. Overseas, we've seen riots in France because they moved their retirement date up from 65 to 60 to close to 70. Canada's moved their retirement date up to 70. So there's a lot of changes in this post-retirement income market overseas that we need to do. But ultimately, what happens is, when you sit in the front of a client, they're firstly always looking probably for a sustainable income, but they also want to make sure that they leave some sort of legacy for their children, even if that means that they live below their means sometimes in the South African market. Now, one of the benefits of working with various range of asset managers, and you'll see later with who we work, is that we can actually give you an indication of what the average drawdown rate looks like in the South African market if we take into account all retirees from the age of 55 to 100. And here we sit with around 20,000 policyholders or living annuity policyholders across our business partners, which includes Allan Gray, Signia, Citadel, PPS, Alexander Forbes, and I'm probably missing one. And this gives us an indication of the behavior of clients and where these clients sit. So the blue line is the recommended FECA drawdown rate in the South African market for a joint couple. So you can see for a 70-year-old male and female, the recommended drawdown rate is around 4.5%. And then the pink line is the rates that's currently on offer from the guaranteed annuity market. So when we look at this, you can see around 33 to 34% of people are doing well within the levels of the living annuity, as said by the FECA. A large cohort of people, around 34% here, also draws between the annuity rates currently and more than the FECA recommended drawdown rate. So there's a big chance that they're going to run out of money. And then a large cohort of people are drawing more than the recommended drawdown rate. Now, for this cohort of people, of 20,000 people, the average age is 71, and the average drawdown rate is 8.5%. So 8.5% for most of the advisors on the call that's been working with us, it's highly unsustainable to have a drawdown rate of 8.5%. The chance that you're going to run out of money is actually more than 60%. At that specific drawdown rate. But we also see a lot of risks in retirement, together with, this is obviously the drawdown rates are driven by certain factors. So we see longevity risk, and I'll talk a little bit about that. In the South African market, longevity is actually starting to increase. We're seeing the longevity numbers starting to increase compared to what it was in the previous years. For instance, a 65-year-old male on average will live for 18 years. A 65-year-old female will live for around 22 years. And then if you put that couple together, average will live to 25. They will on average live for 25 years. But the moment you start adding certain factors like income, higher income, better health, those numbers actually increase between 6 to 8 years. So that puts a lot of pressure on the financial planning community, because, for instance, now a 65-year-old male and female, from a planning perspective, there's a good chance that one of them will make 100. And that means that we actually need to plan and provide some solutions for that. We've seen investment risk. Unfortunately, what we've seen in the market, and once again, I quote a paper from Sanlam. So Sanlam did some research on the employee benefit side. 7 out of 10 retirees do not make use of a financial advisor. They only start making use of an advisor when they really start seeing their returns are not up to scratch, or when they see that the income need is becoming too high, or when they're really in trouble. So as an industry, we need to do a lot more work, and that's probably where we've seen some retirement benefit counseling come in, but it hasn't had the impact that we hoped from an education perspective. But over the last couple of years, we've seen some, and when I say from 2016, there was a period where we've seen some insufficient returns. So most of those people that retired actually retired in a down market that's created some further investment risk for them. We've seen inflation, and I'll talk about inflation a little bit more, but we've seen behavioral risk. Momentum recently brought out, well, they've been doing this for a couple of years. They've got a behavioral risk unit where clients are drawing monies at the incorrect time, and that leads to around a 3% loss per annum because they are withdrawing or moving funds in the incorrect time. And once again, most of those clients are not serviced by any advisors, or by advisors actually that haven't got that struggle to understand the complexities of retirement. And then we've also seen some health risks, so we see some clients getting diagnosed with Parkinson's, or with a condition like Parkinson's really early on in their life. But such healthcare is really picked up in that space, and it's not strange to see people living with Parkinson's for quite an extended time. Personally, I've got an uncle diagnosed at 60. He's now 83, and he's still going very strong, even with that condition. But it does have an impact on the way that we need to do and look at financial planning. So inflation does definitely play a role. So we've seen inflation really having an impact on sustainability of income. The biggest problem that we've seen in the market is that the indicator that we use is headline inflation from the Reserve Bank. The headline inflation and the inflation that we see for pensioners, and let's coin the phrase pensioner inflation. Inflation that we see for pensioners is actually anywhere between 8 to 12%, depending on what they use. And this is mainly driven by food prices, and then food prices and medical aid and medical costs later on in life. Medical costs, I actually read an article yesterday. The average increase last year for a medical aid was between 8 to 12% for pensioners. There's no solution there's very few solutions that can provide some sort of protection against those type of increases for pensioners. Now, we also ask the questions, can you tolerate a financial loss? And a large cohort of these, and it's actually based on our study from last year, there was more than 80% of people said that they cannot tolerate a loss in their portfolios, and that it put a lot of strain on the income that they do draw. The FSCA recently then brought out, this study has actually been ongoing for quite a while, but they've proposed what we refer to as the FSCA recommended drawdown percentage for living annuities. And this draft conduct standard was developed by a range of actuaries from the different asset management companies and insurance companies. And I just want to take you through this because I think it's a good guideline. I think it's a very good guideline for companies. So you've got working on a CPI plus 4% return. You've got your recommended drawdown rate, and that you've got the maximum drawdown rate that they propose. And then your average life expectancy at specific ages. The recommended drawdown rate says the following: if you can get a CPI plus 4% return, and you draw as a male 5.5% per annum, your income will last for 17 years. Or there's a 90% chance that your income will last for 17 years. If you get a CPI plus 4%, and you draw as a female, you draw 5%, there's a 90% chance that your income will last for 22 years. They also brought in a maximum curve or a maximum drawdown rate. So if you get a CPI plus 4% return, you're a 65-year-old male, they propose that at the highest level that you can draw 8%, and then there's a 60% chance that your income will last for this period. Anything more than that, and this period reduces drastically. So just adding a 0.5% on this drops this by between 5 to 7 years on both these components. And you can see that's where one of the issues then lies. People are drawing too much, even above some of the guidelines that some of the cleverest actuaries in South Africa is now put forward for the sustainable income. If we then look at the different levels and we've got a lot of research, and if you're ever open to understanding more of this and the thinking behind this, and we've got a lot of data that we can share with you. But if we start looking at the different drawdown levels and the time and years, you can see that there's a 75% chance. So let's use 6.5%. If you draw 6.5%, your income, there's a 75% chance that your income would last. And as you go up and up, you'll see there's your sustainability of income actually reduces quite quicker. So, and this just talks to the previous graph. Now, from a behavioral component, we've also started seeing, and this is specifically research from the US. It was done by an author called Wade Powell, where he said we actually need to start thinking about retirement income styles. What type of client is my client? So he developed a solution where he said, let's put these clients in the retirement income style. So you can see he brought out optionality, something like a living annuity, probability-based, something like a living annuity, committed, and safety first. And that mainly focuses on solutions like guaranteed annuities. But so you say safety first and optionality, they call time segmentation. This is where they brought in the bucket approach. So the type of client that will work into this seeks stability, but he wants to avoid long-term commitments. And so typically this is the bucketing approach. The total return approach is where the client 100% relies on the market growth, and he does systematic or dynamic withdrawals from this portfolio, full living annuity solution. Then we've got probability-based and commitment. We call this the risk graph. This is where clients make use of guaranteed annuities within their living annuities or within their drawdown, together with market solutions like the living annuity. And then you get clients that actually work, that fully wants to be in a guaranteed annuity solution. Now, we've developed some solutions based on this, and I'll take you through it. Together with this retirement income styles, they've also started talking about behavioral biases. And this is something that we will start seeing a lot more. So most of you have probably attended some behavioral course as part of the CFP program in the US. This has now become a compulsory module, is where you have to complete the financial psychology component over and above this. And this talks to common biases like overconfidence, herding behavior, loss aversion, confirmation bias. If you don't know those concepts, maybe it's time to look at your Psychology 101 handbook for your studies that you had a couple of years ago if you did a BCom in industrial psychology. And then moving a little bit more into more solution-focused or product solution components. A lot of the advisors have asked us, how does the annuity rates compare in the South African market to the safe drawdown rates? Is it still a viable solution to put clients into a guaranteed annuity solution? And this is basically the average drawdown rate proposed in the South African market, or the safe drawdown rate. You get all the numbers together, that's around 4%. So interesting, the US is 2.9%, is their safe drawdown rate. But you've got a 4% average drawdown rate, which is seen as safe. And you can see the annuity rates over time. So this was COVID. So it was actually a good opportunity to move clients into a guaranteed annuity space. But you can see relative over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, annuity rates have actually remained very competitive. To such an extent that we've now started seeing this component here has actually gone up a little bit for this year. But this still remains some of the most competitive guaranteed annuity rates that we've seen since the early 2000s, for those advisors that have been providing services since then. And that can interestingly lead that on average that you can get quite a higher income locked in for these clients. Interesting, this morning I was doing some work. I'm busy with a paper on life annuities and guaranteed annuities. Sorry, my earpiece fell out. Life guaranteed annuities and what's happening in the South African market. And something caught my eye. And this was actually done last year. So last year, BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, did some research and they actually launched a guaranteed annuity solution for the clients that make use of the BlackRock investment funds. So I'm not going to take you specifically through the product, but I want to take you through some of the benefits that's come out from the research and the product launch. And some of the things and some of the notes that I've taken from that is that you can see around, so they did research with, it was about 10, I think it was 10,000 clients, if I can remember, but 88% of the annuity owners think that there should be some sort of guaranteed lifetime income built in. Now, one thing that stood out for me is that compared to previous generations, these clients feel that today's retirees actually need lifetime income or guaranteed annuities in their portfolios a lot more. We can probably see that. And then one of the things that my idea that I can actually extrapolate to the South African market is that employers should actually come to the party again, where they do provide some sort of guaranteed annuity or access to some sort of guaranteed annuity solutions for the retirees in the South African market. BlackRock research, one of the things that come out of this was that, and this is corroborated by research that was done by two South African researchers as well. The one is Dr. Jeannie de Villiers Strydom. This basically the same type of thing came out in her research, is that people that have got guaranteed annuities actually live longer lives because they've got more peace of mind. So psychologically, they feel much safer. They've got less financial stress. There's greater uncertainty. There's the removal of greater uncertainty. So there's greater certainty and more security. And then there's the benefit that some of these guaranteed annuities actually create is that your safeguards or your savings actually grow more because you live with a large component of your guaranteed annuities. And that your steadier income actually creates more spending because you know that there's not your money can't just disappear or is prevalent on the markets. Now, just this morning I just did a quick to see how many guaranteed annuities are actually in the US market. So a quick research said it looks like they've got around 11 different types of guaranteed annuities. Now in South Africa, we've got 4 types of guaranteed annuities. We've got level annuities, we've got fixed escalation annuities, we've got inflation-linked annuities, and then a concept called the with-profit annuity, which I'll spend some time on. But a level guaranteed annuity, we've seen there's some research that was done by actuarial lady last year. And she did an analysis on the types of annuities that get sold by the different insurers in the South African market. So historically, around 90% of all guaranteed annuities that was written was level annuities. A lower component was fixed escalation and inflation-linked annuities, and then institutionally, they've seen a lot of with-profit annuities because the decision is ultimately driven by the trustees. In our world, if we look at Just, we sell actually a lower portion of level annuities compared to any of the other insurance companies. So around 10% of our business, if I can remember, is level annuities. The rest is a combination of with-profit annuities, mainly inflation-linked and fixed escalation annuities. Over the last couple of years, fixed escalation has really started pricing much better compared to the previous years. And so we've seen an influx of fixed escalation business in the South African market. Now, we launched the solution with various asset managers, the likes of Allan Gray, PPS Investments, Signia, and Alexander Forbes, where we combined the best of a guaranteed annuity, or the best of a guaranteed annuity with the best of a living annuity. And I'll take you through the specific solution because I really think this is the solution that would contribute a lot to the sustainability of the income. But one of the solutions that we used was a with-profit annuity to drive the future increases. So a with-profit annuity, in essence, is a guaranteed annuity, but your future increases are linked to the smooth return of a balanced fund. Either we make use of the Allan Gray Balanced Fund, we've got the Old Mutual Balanced Fund, the 91 Investec Opportunity Fund, or the 91 Opportunity Fund, Coronation Balance Plus. So it is a market-linked type of annuity. The largest with-profit annuity in the South African industry is the Government Employee Pension Fund. You've got the PIC that provides the initial guarantee that you'll never run out of money, but the future increases are then determined by the returns of the Public Investment Corporation. So the South African market, we've just added the local balance funds that we use. Now, one of the benefits of guaranteed annuities is that you can add spouses cover. So your spouse can also continue to get an income for life. Should you decide to do that, you can add guarantee periods so that the remaining income, should both you and your spouse not be there anymore, pays out as a capital amount or as a monthly income amount to your beneficiaries. And then we've seen capital protection products as well. Although we don't do capital protection, it's something that's come to the fore in the market. So as we said, we had this discussion with a lot of our asset managers to do offer living annuities. And ultimately, it just came out that with-profit annuities, because with-profit annuities just came out that it's too difficult to market and sustain. It's just difficult to market it to clients, and it's created a difficult consumer journey when it does come to retirement. Although it is a good solution, we had to do some work on it. So recently, Allan Gray, in their blended living annuity, launched a fixed escalation annuity of 5% and 6%, and an inflation-linked annuity that target or that provides you with headline consumer inflation increases, together with the already with-profit annuity that they've gone on board. And I wanted to spend some time on this solution because I think ultimately this is the solution that most advisors should start having a look at for those clients that are in living annuities. So here we've got the Allan Gray living annuity solution. Within this Allan Gray living annuity, you've still got access to your various funds. So if you make use of the Coronation Strategic Income Fund, or you make use of your own DFM or your own model portfolios, you've still got access to that. But within this Allan Gray living annuity solution, we've actually created a guaranteed annuity asset class. Now, this asset class can be a 5% or 6% fixed escalation or inflation annuity. And this guaranteed annuity pays an income for life into this Allan Gray annuity. And the primary objective of the solution, and I'll take you through some case studies, is that we add some guaranteed annuity solution that creates a longer sustainable income than a normal living annuity. In some instances, if you manage the drawdown rate, this guaranteed annuity solution would create a larger legacy than a normal living annuity for clients. And I think the best thing after all of those objectives is that as an advisor, you still continue to get advice fees, on the full living annuity. The reason why is because we created a market value for this guaranteed lifetime income portfolio. So when we do work out the fees, your fees are actually worked out on the full solution. You're not only getting paid 1.5% upfront for this guaranteed income solution as most of the other providers do. You actually get paid an ongoing advice fees. So you've created a sustainable protection of your of death benefit, but you get paid for the work that you do. I just need to. I always bring up this specific solution because if you look at the historical nature of annuities, because of the market-linked component of with-profit annuities, over time, with-profit annuities do outperform any of the other types of annuities. The reason for that is because you share in the profits of the volatility of the fund compared to fixed escalation and inflation-linked annuities. In inflation-linked annuities, 1 or 2 years will maybe have a higher increase, but in the South African market, the average increase over 2006 to 2015 for inflation annuities was around 5.8% per annum. While with a fixed escalation annuity, there's no profits that you can share in because you put a limit on your life annuity of 5%. But let's look at an example. I always think that the better thing is this is the way that I did. Certainly, let's look at a 65-year-old male and a 63-year-old female. They've currently got around 3 million rand in their living annuity, and they're drawing around 5.5% per annum. And what we want to introduce is we want to make sure that we create some sort of reasonable death benefit, a sustainable income for the spouse. What can we do, and how can we look at this? So the case study that I made use of, I said, let's introduce a 5% fixed escalation annuity with 100% income to the spouse at death and then a minimum payment period of 10 years. So the current annuity rate for the 65-year-old male and female that we are willing to offer is around 7.32%. So how does that compare with a standard living annuity in the South African market? So a standard living annuity is highlighted by this grey line. We've got the average life expectancy priced into this model, and then we've got the joint life expectancy priced into this model. For a 65-year-old male, on average, is going to live to, on average, 82. Except if he's healthy, then you can add 6 years to that number, and then the joint life expectancy for a 65-year-old male and female is around 92. If we assume that we get a CPI plus 4% return with a 5.5% drawdown rate, you will see that the client will have a sustainable income. In this example, my inflation was set at 5%. The client will have a sustainable income up until the age of 85. After 85, they hit 17.5% drawdown rate. And by the joint life expectancy, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, there's around 300,000 rand available per annum to the spouse. And then from there, you can see that it's just peer destruction. Now, unfortunately, this is the type of financial behavior that we're currently seeing. A lot of the time, the client has started to run out of money. Main applicant, normally the husband, passed away, and then the spouse is left on maintaining and trying to maintain a life in a retirement home. And that's where we see the sandwich generation, because they have to stand up and stand in for a lot of the financial losses that their parents have occurred. So the question is, what if we introduce 50% into this living annuity as a guaranteed annuity income class? By introducing this guaranteed annuity, you can see that is the 50% of the guaranteed annuity that's been added in. You actually create a much longer sustainable income. So you can see this is age 85, is a sustainable income up until the age of 91. You still hit the 17.5% curve because a large portion of your money is still invested in the markets. But you can see the sustainable income compared there. That's 700,000 rand per annum compared to 300,000 rand per annum. Should the client live longer, you can see that the guaranteed annuity starts taking over fully. The client has actually got the option here to annuitize a further portion of their money to ensure a longer sustainable income if that's necessary. But I also want to take you through an example of death. So let's say the husband passed away here, his life expectancy. What would the client have in the living annuity? In the living annuity, the client would have the following. There's around 3.5 million rand left. And then you can see the 3.5 million rand starts actually tailing down. But for the blended living annuity, what has the client got access to? The client has got access to a monthly income that's payable for life of just over around 250,000 rand. That increases every year by 5%. Plus, there's an amount of just on 2.5 million rand available as a lump sum. And then over that period, the spouse can continue as is. And let's say she passes away at the age of 92. The lump sum that's available to her beneficiaries is around 2 million, maybe just a little bit shy of 2 million, compared to just under 1.5 million for your standard living annuity. And this is the benefit of guaranteed annuities. Because we introduced this guaranteed annuity asset class that pays an income for life, it reduces the pressure on the market component that's available. And over time, if you look at the solution, living annuity does create a more favorable context than a standard living annuity. So a lot of some people on my previous call indicated and said, yeah, Jaco, that's easy, but what if the client draws 8.5%? Well, let's look at a number where the client actually draws a lot more. So the client draws 8.5%. It's a higher income component than what they will need. We've still introduced 50% of income, but the standard living annuity, you'll start running out of money from the age of, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt again, 75. By the life expectancy of 82, you can see there's been real destruction. But by introducing a guaranteed annuity over this period, you can see by the joint life expectancy, the guaranteed annuity is now taken over fully. And at life expectancy between this period, you can see compared to a standard living annuity, it's 400,000 rand per annum, and that's around 80,000 rand per annum that's available. This continues to go down, but this is guaranteed for life to increase with 5% per annum. And thus the spouse would have a sustainable income for life. Now, the specific solutions, these solutions, Allan Gray currently offer this solution. They've just recently launched fixed escalation into their solutions. Signia offers with profit annuities in their solutions. PPS Investments offer with profit annuities, and Alexander Forbes offers with profit annuities. There are two more platforms, 27/4 and Citadel, which is a closed scheme that's also available. And this year we will add two new platforms in the space of large financial firms that currently work in the market. One of the things that we do differently as an insurance company that specializes in guaranteed annuities is we actually do provide the clients with the option to provide us with certain information that we can use to assess your life expectancy. So this is a 20-minute telephone call at the most that we do to the husband and spouse, should there be a spouse in the policy. And we want to know the following from them. What is your income? What does your household income look like? Have you got a degree, or what qualification have you got? Have you got any health conditions that impact your life expectancy? Have you got asthma, high blood pressure? Did you have a heart attack? Are you suffering from cancers? And then, do you smoke? Do you drink? And what is your body mass? And a combination of these factors actually gives us an idea of the expected life expectancy by using tools that the actuaries developed to say, look, if you come from a lower household, or if you have got a lower income, you are a diabetic and you suffer from asthma and you're overweight, Your average life expectancy, if you look at this graph again, is lower than 82. So that possibly means that your average life expectancy, as we price it, is 79. So that means, as an insurance company, we actually have to price for a shorter term. Because we price for a shorter term, we can actually increase your annuity rate. So this annuity rate can move from 7.32 to, as an example, to 8.10%, meaning that your starting annuity that you would receive from us would be higher because your life expectancy is lower than the rest of the market. If give you an example of this, so here we've got a 71-year-old female, male, 62-year-old female. They added a 15-year guarantee period, 100% spouse's income. You can see the spouse is very healthy, but the main applicant has got some medical issues. He's got depression and diabetes, a lower socioeconomic category. So the increase they received was 3%. And this is mainly driven by the healthy spouse, but 3% on a large amount makes the difference. If this client was on his own and he didn't have any spouse, this number would have been closer to 50% increase that he would have received from us. But because there's a healthy spouse, you would see that there's an impact. So this tool that I worked off previously is available to all of you. You must just request the access to this tool via your Allan Gray Signia PPS or Alexander Forbes BVN. They will make contact with us and we will actually give you access to this tool where you are then able to provide some sort of financial planning guidance to your retirees in the South African market. We also then offer the following. If you are, let's call it, willing to share certain information with us, not client names, but specifically client ages and details, we can do the same type of analysis on your living annuity book for you to provide you with some insights on which clients should actually look at taking or moving into some sort of blended living annuity. And that offer is available to anybody. If you want to do this, you can contact the ICON team. We'll provide them with a spreadsheet of the information that we do need. And then I'll end off with this. This comes from the research that was published this year. In the South African context, a hybrid retirement portfolio increases your probability of success for retirees if you're withdrawing less than 8% from your portfolio, which constitutes about 50% of the current annuitized population. And it also can protect some sort of inheritance for the retirees' heirs. Over 8%, it does not provide it provides a sustainable income, but only for a portion of your money. As for the portion that's invested in the markets, your client will probably run out of money. So I'll leave you with that. I don't know, Jono, if there's any questions.
Thanks, Jaco. I think it's always super interesting listening to you guys. The ongoing research and analysis that you're doing is, I think it's just so relevant. I'll do a little kind of summary of my takeaways before we wrap up, but I'm not sure if there's any questions from the audience. Cool. If there are any, please just unmute yourselves. Happy that you shoot away. But just my brief synopsis. I think, it's very obvious that a lot of people in South Africa are living in a constant state of fear and uncertainty when it comes to their retirement. Whether they're pre-retirement or in retirement, they just either don't have enough capital, okay, and they're drawing down too much each year to sustain their lifestyle, or they're in living annuities and markets are underperforming, and that's threatening the longevity of their income. Combine this with people are living longer, and this is going to fundamentally change the retirement landscape. For post-retirees, people, trying to save for retirement, we need to save a lot more. Cost of living is increasing, and we're kind of being pulled from both ends. It's just really difficult. And, I think the Just solutions help clients consume more with less risk. So, Yaku showed those safe annuity drawdowns of, 4.5%, incredibly conservative, but annuity rates are 7%. It's a no-brainer. And I think, living annuities have been on vogue and sexy for a long time, but they definitely aren't for everyone, especially in our market where people can't retire. Living annuities would develop more for sophisticated investors, people with enough capital, and that's the minority in our world, unfortunately. So the Just solutions, standalone living annuities that we all know well and are familiar with, and those have either a level income, fixed increase, or CPI-linked increase. And I think Just's unique proposition there is the underwriting, reverse underwriting almost, which everyone should be doing, but no one is. Combine that with Just's annuity rates consistently being, up there and amongst the best in the market. If not, we check the rates weekly. I'd say Just are consistently at the top, if not second or third. And then the blended living annuity, which I think is incredibly unique. Yaku just kind of hit the tip of the iceberg. There's so much going on there, but essentially it's giving clients best of both worlds. They can have market exposure, their capital can grow, that can be left to loved ones, beneficiaries, children, but you also have that downside protection where your income will not drop below a certain level. So if clients are kind of, tiptoeing around life annuities, wanting to give it a try, it's a really good solution for them. And for advisors, you're still earning your advice fee on the total capital value. So from a practice management perspective, from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense for advisors there. Yaku, maybe just if we can tell the audience how people can practically access the Just products, both if they're wanting to do standalone Just products or if they're wanting to utilize the blended living annuity on any of those platforms that you mentioned.
So, Jono, just to answer, I see Gareth Collier has asked the question. So, Gareth, for the standalone guaranteed annuities, we do offer it for voluntary and compulsory funds. On the living annuity product, it unfortunately has to be through Allan Gray and Signet. Unfortunately, has to be compulsory of nature. You can access the standalone quote functionality and the blended quote functionality. You can contact the Icon team. We will then organize access. You can either contact your BDM at different areas, but to get the different companies, but to get access to the standalone quote solutions, we will need to register you on our systems. So you can make contact with Icon. Icon will send through the relevant details to us, and we will provide the access to the systems where you are then able to draw or generate your own quotes.
Cool.
Happy.
Yeah. So reach out to Icon, reach out to your Allan Gray BDM, or any of the other platforms that Yaku mentioned. I think there's 6 or 7 now, which is amazing. And then that scatter plot exercise that Yaku mentioned right at the end of his presentation, an incredibly powerful exercise, just to show you overall across your entire retirement base, the health of those retirees, and help you identify and focus on the people who are in a bad space. They're drawing down far too much. It's unsustainable. They're going to run out of money in 5 to 10 years' time. Those people are perfect for a life annuity solution. And then people in that danger zone, that's perfect for blending, where they get best of both. So please, if you do want to do that, if you want, we'll do all of the analysis for you. There's a bit of information that we need from your side, But if you're interested in doing that, also please reach out to us and we'll help make that happen. But otherwise, Jaco, thank you so much for your time. I think Sam's got a question.
Just a quick one from one of my advisors. They just want to know what the 7 platforms are.
So I'm going to start Citadel, which is not available to all advisors, unfortunately. Allan Gray, Signia, PPS, 27.4, Forbes, and the other 2 cannot be named as yet.
Okay.
In the pipeline. I think the big ones there are Allan Gray and Signia. You know, that's kind of a huge retirement base, and then the others are, you know, probably a bit more niche. But yeah, exciting to hear that you're adding more partners to that space, Jaco. So that's really cool.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, everyone. And yeah, look forward to hearing from all of you.
Cool. Thanks.
Cheers, Jaco. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's it.